look alike. But like eagles, there's a difference in the size, and I'm not an expert on red tails. And at this distance you can't really tell the male from the female eagle unless you're really been following them very closely. And the same thing with a red tail. You can't tell the male from the female, and particularly when they're chicks.
Figured, yes.
As they can hear, we're on a very busy road.
Yeah, well,
there's a car going past us on the back behind us every few seconds almost.
Susan says, I'm so fascinated by this. Thanks for these wonderful peeks at the nest. Yes, and I think that's probably the best peek you can get with this camera. So you're very welcome. Unfortunately, wouldn't it be nice if we had a nest camera, but we don't. That question came up a few times. It's a very old nest, but we don't have a nest camera. So this is the angle that I'm having here is actually very, very good, because we can almost look in. It almost looks horizontal. Of course, it's not, but it looks like our little red tail has just gone. But let me show you, for those of you who just joined, I'm going to show you footage I just showed a few minutes ago. I'm just going to jump back. The nest is 40 years old. It's quite an old nest, yes. So I'm just going to go back in my footage because I just wanted to show you a few beautiful scenes that I took when I came. This is a nice one. It's very close. There you go. So that happened about maybe 40 minutes ago. Okay. So you can see beautiful close-up that I got here of this hawk that is probably going to fledge in about a week. Isn't it beautiful? Yes, it is. I mean, this is an incredible close-up I got here. So I think that's that's like a dream. Isn't it nice, Mark? Isn't it? It's like that's a dream to get images like that or videos like that. It doesn't get better than this. And you can see the incredible sizes. When do you think it's going to fledge, David?
I think the hawk will probably fledge in 6 or 7 days.
6 or 7 days.
Yeah.
So that's very soon, right? And you said something from the moment it hatches to its fledging is about.
It's about 42 days.
42 days.
Maybe 46. It ranges on. Every bird is not quite the same.
It's surreal. Yes.
The eagles are They usually make their first flight on the 83rd or 84th day, but sometimes they're there an extra 4 or 5 days.
There you go. That's as close as I got to the hawk with my huge lens. That's a picture I took, but I think that's quite sharp. It's completely. It's a lot less than eagles. Yes, eagles take 83 days, so it's about half that time. Isn't it incredible? So there's your little hawk. That's a screenshot. Let's go back to a live picture now. If I can find the button for the live picture, here we go. There's the live. Okay, now we're back live. So the other was sort of semi-live that happened 40 minutes ago. But that's definitely back the live picture now. Do you think it'll survive without the benefit of a hawk parents to teach it? This is a very, very good question, Susan, and that's being very much debated. I don't know, David, do you have any more opinions on this question?
I'm not overly optimistic. I'm hopeful.
Okay.
Hopeful, but not optimistic. There's some big differences in the biology. One is, of course, size. I mean, to make friends with an eagle, as he's done here in the nest, the poor little hawk is going to be 2 to 3 pounds, where the eagle is 10 to 14 pounds. So, and to make a friend with a wild eagle is not going to be all that good, and they're probably imprinted. This little hawk is probably imprinted to the eagle as a kind of sibling. So it's not a good biological option for it here. But you never know. The birds are many of the things that I said about eagles and published in the 50s have turned out to be quite different once the eagles are not wild and wilderness birds, but are living in the city and what we call the urban eagle.
We have 2 more questions. The one is, what is the age now of the eaglets at the moment? What do you think, David?
Oh, I calculated this all. They're about They're about 9.5 weeks. Yeah.
About 9.5, 10 weeks, something
Yeah.
like that. Okay. And then, of course, the other question that comes time and again is why no attempt to rescue the hawk? That's
Oh, definitely. That's just not in the cards. If you went into this eagle's nest, I could 100% guarantee that the eagles wouldn't nest here next year. I mean,
And you've experienced that many times,
I've
yes.
seen so many people who have gone in, and we had to rescue the one just over here 5 years ago, just due west of us here, because it was caught in the nest by a loop of fish line around its toe, and you could see it was starving to death. Parents wouldn't go over to feed it, and it couldn't get to where the other two chicks were. So we did finally rescue it because it was an artificially incapacitated bird. It was incapacitated by fish line. So we did rescue it. But of course, the day after we rescued it, the parents started to build a new nest about 100 meters away. And they used that for the last 5 years. And now they're back this year
what
using
about
the old nest again.
Yeah, what about the retrieval after it has fledged?
That's what we're hoping to have happen. If it fledges and it comes to the ground because it blows out of the nest a little early or something like that, which is quite possible. I'm sure we lost a lot of eagles the day before yesterday when that big storm. There'd be a lot of eaglets blown out of the nest that would be taken to the rehab centers. So it's possible that it could fall out of the nest, get blown out in another storm, and then it'll get rescued, and then it'll probably be fine. We had one that was raised in an eagle's nest about 10, 12 years ago, same way, and it fell out of the nest. It was rescued below the nest, taken to Owl, the big rehab center, and taught how to hunt, and then 1 year to the day late after it was caught, or fell out of the tree, it was released. And we don't know if it survived, but it wasn't found again, to put it that way. So we optimistically hope it survived.
And here's another question. What about putting in cameras up there later in this nest?
Yeah, well, we only put cameras in that period when they're off on migration, so they don't see us. They don't mind the cameras. It's just that they don't want to know their nest is violated. Well, this is not a nest that it's on private property, and I've not asked about doing that. It certainly is an exciting, wonderful nest.
There it is. There it is. On the right, you can clearly see it now.
The little hawklet coming up here.
Came out there.
Yeah.
Why mess with nature? You coined it. That's exactly right. Do you know exactly what kind of hawk? Yes, it's a red-tailed hawk for sure. That is known.
It's the only hawk that we have, the only big buteo, broad-winged hawk that we have nesting here.
Okay.
We have others that winter here. We have a lot of Cooper's hawks that nest right around here. Oh, there she comes.
There she comes. There she comes. Now, watch. This is marvelous. I'm going to switch on the record button now. So it just came in with food. And now maybe we'll see the little one too. Yes, both parents are accepting, and sometimes they argue a bit. Maybe they argue, where did this little one come from? I've seen some arguments between them. Is it your fault or mine?
Well, the biggest arguments are always about the placement of a stick in the nest. If the male places it, the female is going to replace it.
Yes, the eagle squabble. Someone has just, oops. What happened now? Sorry. I just lost my... Yeah, sorry, I must have lost the feed for a second. We're back live now. The best thing is not to touch anything on the screen, and then it's fine. There we go. I nearly lost the stream.
Yeah, we were talking a few minutes ago about how they brought in a branch from a conifer.
Right.
They also brought in a branch from this cottonwood, which is the one we saw her placing. But just the one we saw brought in, I'm sure was from a Douglas fir.
Didn't someone say this pair has 3 pairs constantly? Yes, they did.
Most frequently.
Yes.
Some years they only had 2, and I guess 2 years ago they didn't have any. They lost them all. And
Yes.
But it's not common to have 3, but the pair that was just west of here, where we had our Sydney camera, they frequently had 3.
And there was another question about the rehab centers, actually, which they are, of course, divided by regions. Which rehab center is responsible for
well,
for this?
here,
Yeah.
if this bird falls out, the bird will get probably taken to a place called Wild Ark, which is out in Machosen, which is on the Victoria, and then out to the southwest. It's not that far. I mean, it's 25 or 30 miles from here, but they're the big rehab center for this area. If they were on the mainland, it would go to Owl in Delta, which is right near one of our camera nests.
So I'll just show you the setup here quickly. 1 second, so you can see what it looks like. So there's my camera. Okay, it's pointing straight. Where's the nest located? This is in Sydney. That's Sydney. Okay, it's all over the news, by the way. Okay, there's my friend David Hancock, the eagle expert. And you can see there are a lot of curious people around here. What amazes me is that the eagle, oops, I just missed that comment. Let's see where that comment went. Ah, there are the comments, right. Let me see. I don't dare touch the screen at the moment because, hi David, yes, that's Cheryl, that's David there. So you can see there's a lot of interest today. They are pretty, yeah. There's quite a distance, we're about 500 feet away. And I'll put you right back on the camera again. 1 second, there we go.
I'm a slow learner.
There you go. Yeah, and I just wanted to say, please be respectful, okay? No trolls, please, and just be respectful because this stream takes a lot of patience and energy to do, and also, so I just want you to be respectful, also with your jokes and so on. What is not funny, don't do it. This is also meant for children, so just be respectful. That is very important for my SassePhoto, okay? Absolutely important.
If you want to know how to feel old, Christian, the gentleman over there next to us here was went to my films when I put them on in the McPherson Theatre in Victoria in the mid-60s.
In the mid-60s.
Oh, in Nanaimo, not the Victoria shows. Okay, well, he went to them in Nanaimo.
Good to see you here. Very much appreciated. Yeah, they say thanks to you and David. Well, it's our pleasure. So I just wanted to say, those of you who've joined, you're very happy to be part of it. Just be respectful and let everybody enjoy this. That's really important. Yeah, you're very welcome. Annie, is that right? E-N-Y, Annie Bell. Sometimes a little bit difficult to see on the glare, so hope I didn't sound like a troll. No, you didn't. No, absolutely not. No, you did. That is not a troll. A troll is something else. You're certainly not a troll.
A troll lives under a rock, isn't it?
A troll lives under the rock and is a nuisance to life. That's right. They are both parents now. And do you know which is which here, David?
My guess would be the one on the left is the male.
Okay.
I think it's smaller bill. But it's pretty glaring on the back of your I'm going to plead ignorance because of the glare on the back of your viewer.
But there is quite a glare. It's actually well, I'm glad you can see it because I'm the only one seeing the glare here. So that's correct. Someone says this is correct. That's good. That's good. Excellent. So for those of you who've just joined, I'm just going to go back and show you some more. This is just taken maybe an hour ago, so you can enjoy and see really some incredible. Let's see where I got some. There's some movies here that I made. I just wanted to show you this one. I can't zoom in this image. Of course you can't. No. Hang on. How do I do this now? 1 second. There you go. That's for you to enjoy, so you can see the little hawk here. I think this is really epic. This is so incredible. I must say I'm very pleased I was able to get this. It's really beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And there's somebody out. You post a lot of live events. Yes, and I will. You know, I used to use Periscope a lot. Periscope is very good for travel. The only issue I have with Periscope is it's very pixelated, okay? You're most welcome, everyone, really. You're most welcome. So I have switched to YouTube now. I used to broadcast on Facebook too, but I find YouTube has incredible advantages because A, the picture is very good. B, I can see your comments. C, I can go back. I think that's the male. Thank you, Elle. So this is the male. Okay, good. There you go. And the quality is much better for you. It's much, much better. So when I'm in Australia, yes, I'll be buying a lot of data and I'll be broadcasting. In Australia, of course, it'll be mainly astronomy, but I do intend later to go and travel with David to Australia, and we'll do some. Two hawks, yes, there were two hawks. Yes, that's correct. There were two hawks before. Tomorrow morning we will be back. Tomorrow morning, and then we'll probably take the